Hello friends, my name is Rohit Mandhan. Today we are going to discuss very important topic which is currently in news. This is Global Alliance for Mangroves, or we can say this as the Mangrove Global Alliance. तो ये जो Mangrove Global Alliance है ये लॉन्च किया गया है अभी कुछ कंट्रीज के द्वारा इन कोप 27। अभी जो कोप 27 थी, कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑफ पार्टीज थी ऑफ यूएनएफसीसी की, तो ये अलायंस लॉन्च किया गया है। इस अलायंस जो ये अलायंस है, that's the motive of this alliance is to protect this mangrove ecosystem. So today we will look at this, what is this mangrove ecosystems, and this is going to be very important topic for our civil services examination 2023. So either for UPSC or either for the state civil services examinations. So let's discuss what we will discuss in this session. Now here you can see that this is currently news in the Indian Express, also in another other news here standards like business standards, it is also in news. What is the Mangrove Alliance for the Climates and what does it aims to achieve? Okay, so now we will discuss this. So first we will discuss this, what is basically Mangrove Alliance. So if you look at the Mangrove Alliance, this is an initiative of United Arab Emirates and Indonesia. The Mangrove Alliance of the Climates include also India, Sri Lanka, Australia and Japan. तो ये जो first point है, that first point is very much important for the our examinations, because this is also often these statements are included with this statement like this: Mangrove Alliance for the Climate Change is an initiative of the UNFCCC. It is an initiative of the something like that other organization. So we have to remember this. So this was launched at the 27th of the Conference of the Parties, which was held recently in Sharm el Sheikh in the Egypt. So in Egypt, there was a United Nations Climate Summit, and here Mangrove Alliance for the Climate was launched with India as its partner. तो इंडिया को अगर हम देखें तो we can say that India is its partner. Okay, this is very much important fact for our examination point of view. Now look at this significance. Now we will look at the significance of the mangroves. Mangroves का क्या significance है for us? We have to understand this because mangroves are the, if you look at the mangrove ecosystem, if you look at the mangrove ecosystem, if you look at the significance, these are the most productive ecosystem on earth, most productive ecosystems. And how we can materialize this productivity of this ecosystem, because we know that in the ecosystem we have a study like the GPP and NPP these systems. Okay, so how we can examine this productivity of this ecosystem, because we know that the capacity of the carbon dioxide sink or carbon sink capacity of the mangroves is much higher than the tropical rainforest. If we compare this data with the per hectare, so the per hectare capacity of the mangrove ecosystem is much higher than the tropical rainforest, and this can be 10 times more. This can be 10 times more capacity of the mangrove alliance. The mangrove forest, okay, and the other significance if the mangrove ecosystem we look at, these are the basically barrier to disaster relief barrier. These act as a disaster relief barrier. Okay, so other significance we can say that they will help us to fight the climate risk, to reduce climate risk as well. Okay, now look at the one by one the significance of the mangrove. What is the significance basically hold mangrove for us? If you look at the significance here, the first significance here you can see that the mangrove ecosystems reduce the up to 66% of the heavy weight, reducing the erosions and the flooding. The first you can see that the significance is here. You can see that reducing erosions and the flood risk, where we can see that this is the climate related hazards. It can significantly reduce their impact. Okay, this acts as a coastal protection zone, and these mangroves sequester around 3 to 5 times more carbon per hectare than the tropical rainforest, as we have seen already. And this is also a major important site for the ecotourism, which is will be very helpful in our economic strength of the any countries. Like many island countries are mostly dependent on the tourism. Okay, and if you look at the fisheries, so this can be our best for the food security, because in the climate crisis, food security will be major concerns of the countries. The mangroves are the fish factories for the 210 million peoples who have lived dependent upon the seafood. Okay, so wildlife habitats, so this is very much important. If you look at the significance of the mangroves in terms of the biodiversity, so here you can see that these are the basically habitat for the diverse wildlife. Okay, so this is the significance basically of the. Now if you look at the case study, and in this case study we can also examine the significance of the mangrove ecosystem. This was the case study of the 2000 flood. So in 2000 flood, what happens? The tsunami. I will rather say tsunami. The mangrove basically shielded the communities against the tsunami. So this was the 2004 tsunami in the Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean. In Indian Oceans, because of the earthquake, there was a 2004 tsunami, and because of that, mangroves shielded most of the coastal zone of these island countries like Indonesia, Indian in the Bay of Bengal, like the Odisha and the Bengal were also protected from this mangrove ecosystems. And this was the much of the, and after 2004, the significance of the mangrove ecosystem for the world community was recognized. Was recognized. And after that, there were several initiatives launched by the national as well as international organizations to protect the mangroves ecosystem. Now we will cover the current significance. If you look at this current data को देखते हैं हम, current status of the mangrove ecosystem से current status को if you look at the South Asia, which is the South Asia in this whole world houses the most extensive area of the mangrove ecosystems. Okay, globally, if you look at the globally, and in the South Asia, and if you look at the Indonesia, Indonesia, Indonesia holds one fifth of the world mangroves. Okay, if you look at the India ranking, India ranking in South Asia hold third 3%. Okay, 3% of the South Asia. So India has the most significant in terms of the contributions in the mangrove ecosystems. Now this is the if you look at the mangrove ecosystems, and here you see mangroves are the species, or these are the basically in tropical regions. Okay, so this is the zone of the tropical region. So you will find most of the mangroves in the tropical region. The tropical. That's why we can say that conditions for the mangroves. Na? What are the conditions for the mangrove? So these are the tropical species. Okay, so this is the warm water, in warm water, and saline water. Okay, so warm and saline waters are the most preferable environmental condition or ecological conditions for thriving the mangrove ecosystem, for thriving mangrove ecosystems. Okay, now if you look at this data and this fact figure, okay, Indonesia hold around 25% of the world. Okay, if you look at the one fifth means na, So this is 1/5 of the world, and after that Brazil hold the second position, then Malaysia, then Venezuela. Okay, the rest of the world is 34%, in which India also. Okay, so this is the world scenario of mangrove ecosystems. This is the world scenario of the mangrove ecosystems. Now look at the mangroves in India. If you look at the India status in the mangrove populations, so India holds 3% of the South Asia mangrove populations. Now distributions, if you look at the state-wise distribution of the mangrove ecosystem in India, so which states hold the number one positions? Okay, so this state. Okay, so this is the West Bengal. So West Bengal holds the number one positions in the distribution in a square kilometer. This is around 21 to 5 square kilometers area covered under the mangrove ecosystem is in the West Bengal regions. And Sundarban जो region है, Sundarban regions is the largest, the world largest, I will rather say world largest mangrove forest है, world largest mangrove forest. The second position is Gujarat, and third position Andaman Nicobar Island. So these are very much important, okay, because three states we should have known, so that we can solve the questions easily in the examinations. Now we will solve some questions related to the mangrove ecosystem which we have studied so far. Now the first questions is, if you analyze the first questions, the first question is identify the vegetation by the features given below. So these are the some features, okay. So because of these features, we have to identify the types of the vegetation. The first feature is this type of vegetations can survive in the saline water. Okay, we have a study so far the saline water. This is the mangrove ecosystems. Okay, okay. It is located in the Andaman and Nicobar Island. Okay, if you look at the Andaman and Nicobar Island, and we know that in Andaman and Nicobar Island, tropical rainforest we also find. Okay, moist deciduous forest we also find, or mangrove forest we also find there. So the three types of the ecosystem also can find. But the Sundari is well-known species of the vegetation. Okay, but we don't know because we didn't study the Sundari. Sundari is which type of vegetation is Sundari? Okay, so is left this one. Okay, we can left this one, but from the beginning of the first two options we can identify the types of the vegetation. If you look at the tropical rainforest, moist deciduous forest, mangrove forest, or the coniferous forest, so coniferous forest will not be here in the Andaman Nicobar Island. Okay, we can remove this. But if you look at the tropical rainforest and most deciduous forest, they cannot thrive in saline water. So we can also eliminate this one. So remaining is mangrove forest. The answer is mangrove forest. So this is how we have to solve our question. The second question is consider the following statement about the mangrove. So if you look at the mangrove here, the first statement is mangrove tree grow in the saline coastal regions. Yes, we know this surely. Okay. The second one is Sundarban is the world largest mangrove forest. Yes, we know this. Sundarban is the third is mangrove forest support varieties of life. We know that the significance of the mangrove ecosystems as in terms of the as it provides the habitat to the wildlife systems. Okay, varies biodiversity. The fourth statement is Andaman and Nicobar Island also have mangrove forest. Yes, so these are the four statements, and these four statements, all the four statements are correct. So the answer is, the answer is D. Oh, C. Sorry for this. Answer would be C. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So this is how we have to solve this question. If now the next question is which of the following is the correct about the Global Mangrove Alliance for the climate change? Okay, the option is, so the first option is it is an initiative of the UNESCO. Okay. The second option is India is founding member of the alliance. If you look at the first options, and if I'll tell you the UPSC pattern, tell the UPSC pattern, majority of the statement which include like the organizations or something, या फिर ministry is given, they are generally wrong. They are generally wrong. And also we are confirmed about that this was not the initiative of the UNESCO. The first statement is wrong. The second statement, we know that India is the founding member of this alliance. The option is B. B option is correct. So here we have covered this our mangrove ecosystems, because we also have known about this some fact and figure, and we thoroughly cover this our mangrove alliance. And this mangrove alliance is so much important that this is going to be coming in the our upcoming UPSC exam, UPPSC या फिर UPSC exam. So this is going to be very much important, and I hope you guys like this video, and this was very interesting video. So we will cover like likewise videos in the upcoming sessions. And I hope guys you like this, and please share and subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you so much guys for watching this.